Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Dragon Warrior 3 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Last episode, Prince Ernie and his companions Tennison, Saide, and Indy made their way to the new continent and they visited the castle town of Romaly. There they discovered gambling! An arena where they can gamble on monsters fighting each other. And so I kinda, did a little save scumming where, I save the game, go gamble a little bit, and if I won a lot of money, then I'd go back and save. If I lost a lot of money, then I'd just reset. Kind of like I did for The Legend of Zelda to get rupees. So I'm going to actually put all that money now to use. So I'm going to buy quite a few things here, mainly weapons. The good armor that we want to get is in the next village, the village of Nave. It's a little to the north. I'm gonna buy 2 Wings of the Wyverns real quick, so I can warp back real quick to the village reef and grab a second turban. Turbans ain't sold around here, so they're sold in another town, but it's a really long time away. So we're just gonna spend the 50 gold to grab that turban real quick, because it's, like I said, basically the best helmet for our merchant and goof off. So we want both of them to be equipped with that. Merchant's going to get a real big increase to his defense, as well as Prince Ernie at the Nave. But all this armor here is like a tier down from what we can get. So in Nave, so I'm just going to focus on the weapons. So Prince Ernie and Saide are both going to get a broadsword, and Indy is going to get an iron spear. Indy will also get, I meant to sell that copper sword. Indy is also going to get Saide's leather shield. That's the only shield that she can really equip. And Prince Ernie and Saide are going to get much better shields, like I said, when they get better armor. So, unfortunately, even though Indy's getting a really good upgrade of a weapon there, she's still, she's gaining levels, so she has more tricks and she's gonna do more goof-off type stuff. So, we choose our Wings of the Wyvern. Like I said, we can choose whatever town we go to. So we'll go to Reeve, and then we'll just warp back here to Romaly and head north to Nave, fight some new monsters, and I'll try to set up how to do that good experience grind. So let's just sell a bunch of gear here. It's money ain't all that important. Like, so it didn't really matter that I accidentally tossed that copper sword because we made so much money gambling. So we'll go buy that turban then, and we'll equip that, and then we'll be ready to march on our way up north. So to the northwest of Romaly, there's a little passageway. But you can't get through it because you need the magic key, so that's kind of like the thing telling you that, hey, you gotta find a new key somewhere. If you know where to find the key, you can go right there to find it. We get an idea of where to find that key, though, doing a sub-quest, like a mini-quest, where you can get this village to the north that's under a sleeping spell. So I said speedruns, they don't do that because, they're just trying to beat the game as quick as possible, so they're basically going to skip that village, and they're also going to skip Kandar, trying to find the crown for the king of Romaly. We're going to get the crown, but we're not going to return. Well, to return it later. The crown is one of the best headgears you can get, basically for the wizard. Until you find much later in the game, there's an enemy that drops headgear that reduces MP consumption. They have the same defense, so we'll just keep the gold crown for the defensive bonus on the wizard until we get that hat that reduces damage. So here we have a new enemy. We could have run into this enemy, the Caterpillar, back in the Cave of Enticement, but luckily we didn't. It's a pretty tough enemy. Has a lot of hit points, 40 hit points. So pretty tough with weaker weapons. So took a few turns to knock it down, even with the upgrades that we have there, the broadsword and the iron lance. Now Those new weapons, though, aren't the reason why we're going to be able to do this kind of grind. It's going to get us a lot of levels real quick. Basically, right now, if you think about it, the monsters are given around, like, a group of monsters, maybe around, like, 40 to 50 experience. The way we're gonna fight some monsters that can give up to 880. So it's like 20 battles, basically, in one battle. And basically, as long as the battle itself is easy, there's no danger in it at all. It's just sometimes getting that battle is the dangerous possibility. So, yeah, another new enemy there, the poison toad that can poison you with its physical attacks. So it's important that we have antidote herbs. Well, eventually, before we do our next dungeon, we'll want to get an antidote herb for everybody, and then also 2 medical herbs. Next dungeon is kind of long, kind of annoying. So this is Gnave, a small village surrounded by mountains. If you go west from this village, you'll come to the Tower of Champagne. And that's where Kandar is hiding, or recruiting thieves for his guild. There's a renowned fighter sleeping here. They say he defeated a bear with his bare hands. Alright. I'll come back at night and we'll actually get to meet the ghost of that fighter. See if it's really true. Even a very weak wizard can bring down a monster by hitting a vital point with a poison needle. Long ago they said they sold it at the item shop. Well, that's a reason for us to come back to the item shop later. They don't sell it there anymore. There is a town later on, much later in the game, that sells the poison needle, but we're not going to, we're just gonna get one for free in a little bit here, so we want to buy half-plate armor for Saide and Prince Ernie, and they can also buy iron shields, so this will definitely increase their defense a lot, so. Now getting to what is getting back in earlier, we're going to be fighting these new enemies, that really good experience. It's because of the poison needle that we're going to be fighting those tougher enemies. So the poison needle basically has a 12.5% chance, so basically 1 in 8 chance to do a critical hit. And what the critical hit does is it instantly defeats the enemy. It says the poison needle struck its an enemy's vital spots, and the enemy instantly dies. Otherwise, the poison needle will only do 1 damage. So we're just going to be relying on that critical hit to take out some enemies. Because there's a certain enemy nearby here. It's a higher end level enemy, and it'll never attack you, it'll never do anything until it's below 25% of its max health. So that guy went looking for Kandar. The enemy has 500 health. There's a sleeping village somewhere. This I can't believe. Yeah, but the thing is, the villagers made the elves angry, so the whole village was put to sleep. This is the village eatery. Relax and make yourself at home. So you'd have to hit the enemy like 375 times without the 12.5% chance of it instant death happening before this enemy will act, which is, you must have like really terrible odds if that would happen. So most likely you're going to have that critical hit happen before the enemy gets down to below its 25% health range. Now, if it gets below that 25% health range, it'll just be cast a spell, a sacrifice spell. It'll basically just wipe out your party. So with the poison needle, we're only doing 1 damage. We're never going to get it down that low, so it'll never use that sacrifice spell to defeat us. And then we just, since it doesn't do anything until it goes below 25%, the battle's just free. So what's not free though is that whatchamacallit, some of the other enemies around there are tough, because I mean it's a monster domain. It's kind of like the Peninsula of Power from Final Fantasy 1. Oh please, you shouldn't come in here. Well, we'll come back here later on at night. The way the encounter zones in the game are set up, like by squares, and so there's going to be an overlap in one section to the east, where a higher level encounter zone across the river bleeds into the area where we're at. So that's where we'll be farming that enemy. Now, of course, the other enemies there will pretty much wipe us out. So it's just a matter of if you get into a battle with them. You can run, though. In this game, the first turn you have 50-50 chance to run. Second turn is 50-50. Third turn it's 75% chance to run. So it gets progressively easier to run as you go. But, you know, it's a coin flip, basically, for the first time. So, here's a new enemy here, the Killer Bee. This one can actually inflict the numb status. We were told about the numb status earlier. It basically means your character can't act for a few turns. It eventually wears off, not in battle, but by walking around on the overworld. So, right now, I'm just walking around here to get night. So if one of my characters did get numbed, I would just walk into the town, walk around the town a little bit there until the numbness wore off. You can tell when the numbness wears off because the character will start moving again. When we're walking on the overworld, you'll see the characters that like swing their arms, their like sword or their weapon will bounce up and down, shield. They'll freeze in place when they're hit with the numb status. So you can just walk until you see, oh, now they're moving again, their arms are moving, and then the numbness is off. So army crabs have a pretty high defense. That's going to be a feature of pretty much every crab enemy in this game. You might need to use spells. We don't have to worry about spells right now because we got the broadswords and the iron spear, which is enough to penetrate those armor crab's defense. If you were just fighting here with just the regular weapons like the copper sword, the chain sickle, the magic knife that we had before we did all the gambling, you'd probably want to take those guys out with Prince Ernie's blaze spell or Tennison's blaze spell, or even the ice bolt. That does a lot more damage. But like I said, because we managed to get that better equipment, better weapons and stuff, that's going to help us out. The new armor, of course, is going to help us out, you know, surviving in case we run into one of those tough battles. But it seems like the enemy we want to fight is called the Bomb Crag. It seems like basically it's almost like 25% chance that you run into like the Bomb Crag. Sometimes the Bomb Crag, you want to battle where they appear in groups of 4. That's the best. Sometimes they appear in groups of 3 with one other enemy. And depending on the enemy, you might be able to fight the battle and win. So back here at night, hey, it's the ghost of that fighter. I am a great warrior. It was once said that I defeated a bear with my bare hands. But if you want to know the truth, I use the iron claws. It's basically one of the best weapons you can get for your fighter. There's one claw that's better than the fighter. For the fighter, the golden claw. But the problem with the golden claw is like it basically increases the encounter rate. Shoot, they say they're closing already. It basically like almost like every other step you're getting a new encounter. So it just that weapon is better to just, you know, put it in the vault and save it. I guess it's good for like level grinding if you want. We were told that the shop used to sell poison needles. Well, they don't do that anymore, but they do have one in this chest here, so I feel bad that I'm kind of like stealing this guy's stuff, so I'm just going to drop his club that I took from him and put it there. He'll find it in the morning, I guess. But, yeah, I guess it's bad that I have the OCD and I want to get every treasure chest and open everything, but by doing so I have to kind of steal from this guy, but oh well, we're saving the world. We'll give him, if we can give him money some other way, I would. But some people say it's like in the Ultimate games where the avatar's supposed to be the really good guy, but you can steal, it affects your karma and stuff like that. Or there's other games where, like Ultimate 7, where you get somebody else to steal for you. They call it the avatar tax. He's like, well, I'm saving the world, you know, you people owe me, you know, because if it wasn't for me, you know, the world would be over. So, it's the Prince Ernie tax. But, yeah. We don't have to do as much looting as in, say, like, Final Fantasy games, because, or future Dragon Quest games, or even the remake of this game, because, there's no treasures in, like, in drawers and chests, like treasure chests, of course, but like, you know, in houses you'll see like drawers and, you know, clothing chests and stuff like that. Pots. In this game, the original, there is no treasures hidden in them. There's another new enemy. We're gonna find a bunch of new enemies here while we're trying to hunt down these bomb crags. The Ranger Ravens are annoying because they can attack twice. They like have a built-in Falcon Sword. Falcon Sword from, you know, Dragon Warrior 2, remember, it allowed you to attack twice around. So, if you're in a group, you know, a bunch of these monsters, you might want to take the Ranger Ravens out first, because they're basically functioning as two monsters. Earlier we got a critical hit from Prince Ernie. Every character has a 1 in 64 chance to do a critical hit, except for the fighter. So what the fighter does is their critical hit range is based on their level divided by 265. So at like max level, they're a little less than like half a chance to get a crit. So basically, at level 5, they have a higher critical percent chance than, you know, any other class, because, you know, level 4 would be the 1 in 64. So I'm just getting a bunch of new enemies around here. Not going into the exact area where those bomb crags are. So another new enemy there, the Rogue Knight. The Rogue Knight can sometimes call a healer, which is a slime-type monster that casts the heal spell. So if the monster ever calls like a healer, you want to take out the healer first, otherwise the healer's just going to use its healing spells to undo all the damage that you do to, you know, the other enemies in that thing. Rogue Knight, being a knight, has pretty good armor, pretty good defense because he's armored up, so we want to, you know, try to take him out, concentrate our attacks on him. As you can see, Tennison's only doing 1 damage, but like I said, we have that, you know, 1 in 8 chance, 12.5% chance that it does the, it strikes a vital point. There it is, right there. And it's instantly defeated. So, now of course that don't work on bosses, but there's very few bosses in this game. It's not like some other RPGs where like every dungeon you're going through, you're going to have a boss at the end of that dungeon. So the dungeons themselves are the challenge because the dungeons seem to be pretty long, and so we got these mad wolves that always scared me as a kid because it's like their eye is popping out and their like ribs are showing. It's like the zombie wolves. So there's 2 of them around here. The mad hounds can cast the defense spell on you, and that lowers your whole party's defense. Tennison's eventually going to get a spell called Increase that increases all our characters' defense. She's going to get that pretty soon. The other wolf, it's a blue color. I forget what it's called, but that wolf has another spell that it casts. It casts the slow spell, and that decreases your character's agility, so you act later. So there's the venom worm there. As you can see, it's kind of annoying because it has it breathes a poison breath attack that can hit everybody. So in addition to maybe poisoning you by just attacking you, it can also poison everybody at one time with the venom breath. Luckily, it's kind of a low accuracy, so it didn't take to us there. Just keep doing that parry command. Like I said, some people consider it a glitch, but the instruction manual tells you to do it. So, hey, the instruction manual tells you do it, do it. So, like I said, it definitely increases the survivability of all the characters in the front row. So, like I said, the back row doesn't need to really do it because there's only a 1% chance that it gets targeted, but so the front 2 though have a pretty high chance. I think it's like 44 and then 31%. and like 20 something, and then like I said, the last one's just the 1%. So, all right, now the area where you see Tennison is at is Tennison Sprite. That's the area, basically just where you can start running into the tougher enemies, those bomb crags. So I went in there and snuck back out real quick. And it's only basically that forest area. When you get into the plain type area, it seems to revert back to the enemies that we're encountering here, like these gas clouds, these new ones. They can cast the Blaze spell. That does between, I think, 8 and 13 damage. But of course we're cutting that in half by parrying. And Saide found some more gold. So yeah, that little section over there, it looks like maybe it's a 3x3, 9, and then there's a little piece jutting out, so a little bit more. So it's like maybe like 10 or 11 squares. That's where we can find the tougher enemies. So, but right now we're just finding the regular enemies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back to town now, heal up, and then I will in the next episode I'll hunt down one of those enemies. I didn't find him here because I didn't really spend too much time. I mainly just focused on the enemies you would normally be encountering around this area. So here's our last new one here, the new Mana Bat. So stop casting the stop spell. That of course will stop all those spells from being cast. That's both your healing and your offensive spells. So, but we have herbs to heal ourselves, and they don't do too much damage. So. They're not really much of a threat. If you're like an all-wizard party, yeah, these guys will be really, terrible, because you're relying on magic to do your damage, but for the most part, we're a physical party. We'll only use our magic when we encounter, like, a large group of enemies. We'll use that fireball. Prince Ernie's gonna learn fireball eventually during our grind, and Tennison's gonna learn another spell as well, the bang spell. And the bang spell is like a weaker fireball, but it hits every enemy, so it doesn't just target a group like the fireball spell does. So, yeah, this little grind that we're gonna get basically up to level 13 for Prince Ernie. The other characters will be a little bit stronger because they level faster, but that's our target goal. It's not gonna take too long though, because like I said, we'll be gaining like 880 experience a pop. So. Talk with this guy who's being blasted. I won't be fooled again. I'll get you, Kandar. He's talking in his dreams. So, we know Kandar's to the west here. If we go west, we can get to that tower. But we're going to wait until we do the tower. We're going to save that sleeping village first. But first, we're going to do some level grinding next episode. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.